Mike, back to you.
All right, Kenneth, thank you so much. Hey, expectations were high on the Dodgers last year. They lived up to those expectations. After winning the World Series, expectations may have been even higher this year. They're still okay.
Yeah.
But how do they get on that roll that we expect LA to get on?
Well, talking to Dave Roberts yesterday, he's going to start to really lean on some of the starters. Yamamoto, Dustin May. Hopefully they have time to build up Clayton Kershaw so he can factor in Tony Gonsolin. They're going to have to go deeper in ball games so they can take the pressure in the matchup off their bullpen. They've been leaning on their bullpen, but there's been some key pieces lost because of that. Usually when you lose 14 arms in the organization, your season is over, but this is where the depth is tested. But I think they're going to lean on that offense and really start to build up their rotation, because if not, I don't think they're going to have enough horses going into that postseason if they make it.
They see Ohtani in their rotation sometimes.
Watch out.
Who knows? Who knows? Meanwhile, the Mets have high expectations as well, too. Still really good at home. They paid Juan Soto a lot of money, $765 million, and so far, he ain't living up to that contract.
Yeah, he looks in between pitches, and he just doesn't. Pete Alonso and him cannot struggle all at the same time, and that's what's going on, especially with runners in scoring position. If they want to factor in the East, they have to get these guys going, especially Juan Soto.
Yeah, it's not all on Soto, but when you get 15 years, $765 million.
Stop telling that man business.
Everybody know that man business. I'm in his pockets. I wish I was in his pockets. Help me with my bills. But the Mets and the Dodgers got a good matchup. This guy got a good contract, but he lives up to his contract. Ohtani getting ready to go. Rematch of the NLCS coming up. Most of you will see that game. Others will see Cleveland and Detroit, and of course, one of the best professional hitters in baseball, Jose Ramirez. Enjoy the games, everybody. We'll be back here in the LA studios to wrap things up afterwards.
From Citi Field in New York, welcome to Baseball Night in America and a rematch of last season's championship series. The New York Mets and their superstars taking the field against Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. Dodgers took a thrilling game last night in 13 innings, and we're all set for Game 2. Hope you're having a great weekend. Joe Davis, AJ Pierzynski. When you think about the Dodgers, a lot of the talk around them is their 3 MVPs at the top of the order. And so Teoscar Hernandez tends to get lost in the shuffle, but he did it again last night. And even though he's missed 2 weeks this season, he's still top 5 in the league in runs batted in.
If you talk to anybody in the Dodgers organization, they know how important Teoscar Hernandez is. We'll hear us talk a lot about the big 3 of the Dodgers, the MVPs, Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie. But Teoscar's in the middle of it. And his numbers on any other team would be MVP worthy. 41 RBIs, the average with runners in scoring position, the home runs, and like you said, Joe, the big hits. He gets big hit after big hit. And when you talk to Dave Roberts about Teo, he says he just knows how to drive in runs, and that's very important.
As far as the New York Mets go, they make the surprise run to the championship series last year. They add Juan Soto. You can understand all the excitement coming into the season, but those guys got a hit.
Again, the big 3 of the Dodgers, the big 3 of the Mets. Soto, Lindor, Alonso. They go as these 3 go. Lindor's struggling right now. Soto's struggling. But the biggest number for me, Pete Alonso, no home runs in over 2 weeks. He is here, the polar bear, to hit home runs and drive in runs. He's supposed to mash behind the other 2 guys. He's not doing it right now. And right now the Mets are surviving on their pitching. But if they're going to go where they want to go, which is another LCS or World Series run, they need the big 3 to go.
Speaking of pitching, it was a disaster for both sides last night. You had the rain delay after 2 innings, starters burnt. And then the Pens had to cover 11 innings. So Tony Gonsolin and David Peterson, I hope the Tanks.
I think Freddie is as good as they come as being a good hitter and driving runs in. So I think those guys right there are main. And I will say this, is Max Muncy has become a much better hitter recently, in my opinion. And you're starting to see some base hits and better efficiency driving when runners are in scoring position.
Dave, have you guys determined who Shohei will be thrown to tomorrow?
I think rushing is involved. I think, I'm not sure. I know Dalton's going to be involved. Hae-Sung Kim, I think, will take some at-bats. I'm not sure who else.
Do you find yourself marveling at all how productive Shohei has been as a hitter as he goes through, these various rehabs and ramp-ups?
I do marvel quite often. It's sort of commonplace now, but when I take a step back, it's pretty astounding.
You have to remind yourself he had shoulder surgery?
I try not to think about that, but it is kind of amazing that this offseason he had, a major surgery to come back and be that productive.
It's supposed to be heard that shoulder surgeries like that can affect a guy's power. So he's only got 17 home runs.
Yeah, so I don't know if it cut into his power, but he worked really hard this offseason. He's having a tremendous season.
Was there a moment with that where you sort of saw him turn the corner? Was it sort of like he showed up to spring training and looked like the same old Shohei you saw before surgery?
No, he wasn't the same Shohei at spring training.
Yeah.
I think once we got into the season, once we got back to the States after Japan, I thought he kind of really let it go and felt completely strong. I don't recall one at bat or anything like that, but I do think that once we came stateside, he became, he took it to another level.
Welcome inside our LA studios. It's Mike Hill with the D-Train. Dontrell Willis just saw the Mets improve to 18-6, best record in baseball at home this season, getting their 10th win overall in the month of May, 5-2 over the LA Dodgers, getting exactly what they needed out of their starting pitcher. And David Peterson, 7 2/3 inning, matching career high, 5 hits, giving up just 2 runs and 7 Ks.
You know what? Peterson was absolutely outstanding, especially for Carlos Mendoza. They deployed everybody out of their bullpen. They needed some length, and they had the right man on the mound. David Peterson had 10 ground ball outs. So every time the Dodgers start to mount a comeback, get some guys on the base path, some traffic, all of a sudden he would get a ground ball and really induce some double play work. And so Peterson was outstanding. He kept a lot of the core off balance. He struck out Shohei Ohtani 3 times today, which is a big matchup. And he pitched with some emotion. They needed this ball game tonight. The crowd was in it, and they stole one, and they evened up the series.
Got Ohtani for the 3rd time in a very crucial situation before he left the game and getting what they finally need.
Right.
Out of Juan Soto, man. Soto has been scuffling a little bit.
They've been watching the pregame show. You've been hating all day long.
It hasn't been. I'm not even a Mets fan, but the Mets fan booed him last night.
They did.
But he came through today. He hit the ball very well today.
Well, you know what? He got a split finger from Tony Gonsolin belt high, and he did not miss it. And it was a short, easy swing. The one thing I saw that he stayed in the center of the field. He's been looking pull happy. The bat has been in and out of his zone too quick, but that was a short, easy swing. He didn't try to do too much. 80%, that's how much power he has, especially with runners in scoring position. He's been struggling, and really the team's been struggling, so that's a big hit. Maybe that's the type of hit that really can get his season going.
You saw that double, just missed a grand slam on there, 2 RBI in his first at-bat. He actually hit the ball very well as well. Mendoza even talked about that. Let's hear what he had to say. Ken Rosenthal caught up with him right after the game.
Thanks, Mike. Juan, bases loaded, 2-run double. You've had such difficulty with runners in scoring position. How much of a relief was it to get that hit?
It's always great, you know. I know every single guy in this lineup is trying to come through with maintenance on. It hasn't happened, but I know little by little we all trying, you know. And when you come through like that and take the lead against a really offensive team, it's huge. So I'm really happy for that.
Carlos Mendoza told us during the game that he thinks you're one of the unluckiest hitters in the game this season. Do you agree?
I don't know, man. It's just baseball. It just happens. Sometimes you hit the ball hard and you won't find it. Sometimes you're going to hit it soft and you're going to find the hole. But it's just baseball. I just call it baseball.
Juan, how difficult has it been for you the last couple of weeks? Just adjusting to new team, the whole thing?
You know, it's not easy at all. So just a new team, you know, and after you make a commitment this long, it takes your time. It takes your time to sit down and look around and enjoy the moment.
Juan, thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Mike, back to you.
Yeah, tough for anybody to live up to a 15-year, $765 million contract. But if anybody can get the job done, it's that guy right there.